You ready?
Yeah, huh?
Oh, right, I'll turn that off.
Here's a 57 reissue. So, we are joined by Louis Hall, London born and bred, blues singer, guitar player, whiskey drinker,
Vest wearer.
Best wearer.
pro
Moustache sporter. I dig the moustache sport a bit, yeah. Pulled it off pretty well. So we're into the Darklands. We're into the smoky stuff. Heavily peated. Basically, the type of whiskey you can enjoy in company, but that you tend to enjoy alone. There's a lot of varieties of peated whiskey. We're going to focus on single malt scotches and just a variety of kind of classic and kind of newer styles. First of all, where the peaty, smoky flavour comes from is when you're malting your barley, you have to stop that process from continuing, otherwise the seed will germinate and will become useless for making whiskey. So you have to apply heat, and traditionally a common source of fuel in rural Scotland and Ireland would have been turf or peat. Now this is from Glenfiddich. Again, we're looking at the classic Speyside house, but this is a very untypical Glenfiddich style. It's not terribly aggressive, it's quite well integrated. I think it's an interesting introduction into peated whiskey. Then we're going into Talisker, which is from the Isle of Skye. Got a decent amount of peat without being overly aggressive. Again, I think it's very well integrated. The smoke here is more pronounced. Now we're going on to the two Isles. First of all, we have Bowmore, but rather than going for Bowmore 12, which is again a classic, this is a special release. This is a Bowmore Craftsman Collection, bottled at 54.6%. Bowmore tends to have a slightly sherry influence. So, Bruichladdich, they like to call themselves a progressive distiller. They are just across the bay from Bowmore, but it's a distillery that closed and opened, and now it's under the guidance of some very young and very modern thinking distillers, which is the most peated whiskey in the world, the smokiest whiskey in the world. This is the 6th edition or the 6th release. The 5th release was 169, which I think is what's officially in the Guinness Book of Records at the minute. But yeah, 167, you're not missing a lot. It's definitely very robust, but because they focus so much on the sweetness and the maltiness of the grain, that balances it. They've got a long heritage, but they're trying to kind of recreate their own dynamics of how they do everything, which end up very adventurous.
Much like Gibson.
Oh, here we go.
Hey.
Right.
This is often seen as, a classic. It's a traditional classic thing. It's often, one of the blueprints of guitars, but back in the day, this was hugely revolutionary. In fact, people didn't take to it back then. By 1960, it was out of production.
Have you ever loved a woman? Yeah, you know that you can live alone. Have you ever loved a woman? I said no. Oh, one that you can't live alone. Inside you, it won't let you wreck your best friend's home.
Smoky blues.
After that.
Have a little cry.
Oh, very sad song.
It's quite emotional.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Can't remember what I'm drinking, but it's good.
I'm going to avoid that one because that's going to be mad.